15 minutes before the top of the hour now, the field of Republican presidential candidates growing this week with 3 new hopefuls throwing their hats into the ring.
And a new Quinnipiac University poll shows Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker is leading the pack among likely Iowa caucus goers. Trailing him by 14 points is Dr. Ben Carson.
And joining us right now is Dr. Ben Carson, who announced his 2016 candidacy this week. He has been traveling all over the country. I know you were in Dallas yesterday to see your mother, who is not feeling well. How is she?
She isn't. She's in the end stages of Alzheimer's, although she did eat something yesterday for the first time in a few days. So, you know, a little bright spot there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, our thoughts and prayers are certainly with you and your family as well. It's made it a tough week, but it's got to be an exciting week because you want to be the next president of the United States.
I certainly have thrown my hat into the ring and am willing to work extremely hard along with others to see if we can change the course of this nation, because as I travel around, there's so many people who are direly concerned about what is happening to our nation. It seems to be changing at a very rapid pace, and we have to worry about our children and our grandchildren and their future. So yes. Absolutely.
Dr. Carson, it's said that you are set to be meeting with leaders in Baltimore today, with faith and community leaders there. What message is missing there that you hope to bring?
Well, I think one of the key messages is that we have to recognize that we're all in the same boat. And those of us who are in the nicer part of the boat have to understand what's going on with those who are not in the nice part, and perhaps learn how to invest in them, because that's an investment that can pay a lot in the long run. I'm not talking about government programs where we throw money at people. I'm talking about developing relationships. That's another thing that's going to help tremendously with police community problems. If we get the police in there early on, so that when little Johnny encounters a policeman for the first time, it's a pleasant encounter, and he develops a very different impression of who the police are. Because in fact, if you stop and think about it, what would our communities be like if there were no police?
Total
chaos.
Yeah, and that's, I don't really know what the mayor's going at, but still attacking police as of yesterday. But you're going into the eye of the storm, going into Baltimore. And a lot of people there will say, well, what do you know about what we went through? You know exactly what the people of Baltimore went through. You grew up in extreme poverty. How do you expect to get that message across?
Well, I will talk a little bit about some of my experiences as a person growing up, but also, you know, I've spent a lot of time in emergency rooms in Baltimore, seen some of the carnage that is there. And we need to talk not so much about who causes all this, but rather, what can we do to stop it? What can we do to empower people? What can we do to bring business and industry back into the area so that people have hope again? You know, we've seen the change, but we've seen a lot of hope lost, and we want to bring it back in the other direction, and we all have to work together to do that. Well,
since this week you are rolling out your presidential campaign, we've got 3 facts about your faith that a lot of people don't realize. First of all, you're a twice baptized Seventh-day Adventist. You pray before you start surgery, and you believe the Christians have an ability, a responsibility to look out for the poor in a way that uplifts them. Let's back up to number 2. You probably performed thousands of surgeries, and before every one you prayed?
Absolutely, because I believe that God is the source of all wisdom. And, you know, He is a very important part of my life and has never failed me.
Hey, quick question. Do you think it's harder to go from your dire circumstances as a child to neurosurgeon, or is it going to be harder for you to go from neurosurgeon to president?
Well, you know, my life has been full of things that looked impossible. I could write a whole book on things that people said couldn't be done that were done. I always say it can't be done until somebody does it.
Yeah. And again, it ain't brain surgery.
Yeah, that's easier than what he's done.
Could be the prescription that this nation needs. Dr. Ben Carson, thank you for your time today, and our prayers are with your mom as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And we'll see you in studio shortly, hopefully. Thanks so much. 11 minutes.